Feeling unmotivated comes from a lack of direction. It may seem like common sense, or it may seem completely unrelated. Either way, how do you fix it? The answer? By creating both a short-term and a long-term goal. Today has been an unusually slow day, so I took the extra time to journal about what it was, or what those things mean to me, rather, so I could help you rediscover your burning motivation. Let me share. So, short-term goals are those little dreams you currently have, those little monetary things that provide, those shallow things that provide that instant gratification, that sweeps you off your feet, that driving that sick-ass car, scoring that hot date, like buying those fresh new shoes, learning how to play that new song, or like learning a new skill, or anything that really excites you and gets you motivated, like immediately, like just a really nice thought. Typically, you hear like phrases like "do it for the fame, do it for the glory," those kinds of things. Now, while instant gratification is rightfully seen as an extremely bad thing and is often frowned upon, those dreams allow you to have something that you can look forward to, and it's something that has a very, very strong and overwhelmingly positive emotional influence on you to pull out of those dark times. Now, I am not advocating for alcohol abuse, video games, fast food addictions, or like any of the other common things that are associated with instant gratification. However, what I am saying is that for many people, the journey to making those long-term goals and healthy habits into, the things that serve as your main motivational source can take, and is even expected to take, more than just a few months. For me, it took nearly a year and a half to even get close to doing these things out of, naturally. Even now, I am currently fantasizing about that cool car to get me through these daily 12-hour shifts. Window shopping, frequently whenever I feel myself like extremely tired and with not enough energy to come and record a video or write a script, right? The takeaway, TLDR, most people are not yet immune to these instant gratification desires. So rather than ignore this perfectly useful tool that sits right in front of us, let's use it as you would a power tool over a regular old screwdriver, right? Or a handsaw. Utilize these tools by connecting them together and making them short-term goals that you're able to use to motivate and make it through rough times, right? Make those rough times smoother. Would you rather use a chainsaw, or would you rather use a handsaw, right? Now, onto the long-term goal side of things, it's still imperative that you keep these long-term goals in mind, because, you keep those future visions clear in your head, clear in your mind, so that when times are good and you have achieved those short-term goals, maybe you've, gotten that car, you've gotten that hot date. A lot of times what happens when people get these nice girlfriends or something that they've, it was their goal, or, a car, they feel empty. There's nothing left, it feels like. And they take a while to rediscover, and then they find a new short-term goal, and that starts the whole vicious cycle of you're never happy. Well, what if you had a long-term goal that you're not able to easily fulfill, but it's something you always work up towards? A long-term ideal, a long-term vision. You're always working towards it. It sounds a lot more productive, because you won't have this few months period where you get to that short-term goal and then nothing after that for like a few months. You don't have time to become complacent because you have a goal, you have a future vision, you have a higher thing. So, people will become complacent and empty after finding some level of success. If they latch on to only the long term, they may quickly find themselves overwhelmed, anxious, and even depressed, and often inadequate. I myself feel very inadequate when thinking about, the long-term goals that I have for myself, and I easily stress myself out, like regarding my family, regarding like financially where I want to be, regarding like all this different stuff starts piling up, and it really starts overwhelming you because you're like, what am I going to do for my kids? How am I going to school them? Food, how am I going to teach them how to eat and do these basic things? What am I going to do for work so that way I can find the time to teach them and do all these things? How am I going to provide for my wife? What are we going to do? Where are we going to live? And I'm fairly young, so I shouldn't be worrying about those things, right? But if you only focus on the long term, it will quickly drain you and overwhelm you. So what is the whole lesson here? What is the takeaway? What is the point of this video? Develop a short and long-term goal. Both a short and a long-term. Alright? Goals, aspirations, visions. Keep them all in your mind and pull on them whenever you need. Right? Combine what I've talked about here in this post with the things I've touched on my channel and craft a better, more fulfilling, purposeful life for yourself, your kids, your family, anyone. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's best to start this as young as you can, right? But you can start whenever. It's never too late. Keep yourself motivated and open to a new level of self-awareness. You fucking got this, bro. Stay on task.